pushing for her release. At the same time, she hinted that the possible reason for her abduction was due to the political temperatures in Tanzania, accusing the Tanzanian government for repression.
One of the indications that I got was I was asked whether I have a husband. So I immediately knew that there was something that relating to my husband that they suddenly are interested. The other question that I got was, what do I do exactly? But every time I wouldn't answer, I would tell them that when you abducted me, what information did you have about me? And they really didn't like the word abduct. So they kept telling me, we did not abduct you. And I said, what you're doing is abduction. I didn't get to see their faces. There's one of them, I know that when they were taking me, I looked into his face, but he was wearing a mask and a cap. I saw only his eyes. The others I didn't see. But I think my sense tells me that they were younger, based on the voice and the way they're young, the ones behind. And the ones in front, unfortunately, I have not been able to interact with. Why now? 2025 is a watershed year for Tanzania. There is going to be a general election where for the first time we're going to be seeing the citizenry more awake than ever before. There is a much more bigger awareness, however the repression is getting very big. We have seen that the abductions have gone up since I would say 2 years now, but more in the past year. There's been a lot of abductions as well. Most of them have been politically targeted. I cannot say, but based on the fact that I texted my husband, I think it was before 3, that I'm about to leave. I think the abduction happened around 3 to 3:30. When they released me, it was dusk. Do you know the dusk which very quickly becomes night? So it was like when I came out, I started panicking. I said, is it my eyes? Like, because it was so tight for long. I said, is it that I can't see? And then I realized after a while that it's dusk. And I didn't walk for long when it became pitch dark. And of course there were no lights, so I was walking just based on the vehicles.
Well, that's interesting details right there that have been conveyed by the Tanzanian activists. We'll be looking to see what response comes in, whether from the Kenyan government or Tanzanian government concerning the same. Remember, just last month, Kizza Besigye, Uganda's opposition leader as well, was abducted right in the capital city of Nairobi, then, interdicted back to Uganda, where he is currently facing, criminal offenses at the military court in Uganda. So interesting turn of events and what really is happening within the country. A lot of international media attention has now focused in Kenya, as well as we've seen a lot of activists and human rights groups really condemn what is happening. But the government of Kenya, of course, at the end of the day says it has no idea what is happening. So we'll be keeping tabs with that on that latest story. Now, to the corridors of court, where High Court Judge Chacha Mwita has issued a stern warning to the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and the Director of Criminal Investigations Mohamed Amin over the ongoing case of 4 men who went missing in Mlolongo, Machakos County on December 2024. The judge made it clear that he would not hesitate to impose sanctions if the state officers continued to disregard constitutional rights and court orders. This comes after Kanja and Amin were ordered last week to immediately and unconditionally release 3 of the men arrested on December 16th and 17th. And as our reporter Martin Masharia details, Justice Chacha Mwita has given the police boss Douglas Kanja and the DCI boss Mohamed Amin a final opportunity to release the missing men or produce their bodies before the court on January 17th, 2025.
Despite being given a 1-week extension, Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja was a no-show again, defying a court order requiring him to appear personally before the High Court to account for missing individuals and explain the mysterious disappearances of young men. In a scathing rebuke, High Court Judge Chacha Mwita has warned top law enforcement officials, Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and Director of Criminal Investigation Mohamed Amin, that they will face severe sanctions unless they comply with a court order to disclose the whereabouts of 4 men who vanished in Mlolongo, Machakos County in December 2024.
And court over such an issue is a serious breach all the court orders which calls for sanctions, and the court will respond to the cry of the petitioners where appropriate.
This follows a tense standoff in court today when the IG and DCI failed to appear despite being ordered to present Justice Mutumwa, Martin Mwau, and Karani Mwema, three of the men arrested on December 16th and 17th of 2024, or else produce their bodies.
But before doing so, I'll give the two an opportunity, that the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Criminal Investigations, an opportunity to release the petitioners, that is the first, second, and fourth petitioners, Justice Mutumwa, Martin Mwau, and Karani Mwema, immediately, or bring their bodies before this court immediately and unconditionally.
Only the Director of Public Prosecution attended the hearing, raising concerns about the absence of the Attorney General and key other parties. The judge was unequivocal in his condemnation, stressing that the failure to uphold constitutional rights had far-reaching consequences.
The Inspector General of Police and the Director of Criminal Investigations, who also personally attended court on that day without fail.
In an alternative measure, Judge Mwita had previously instructed the IG and DCI to produce the missing individuals alive or deceased by January 13th, a deadline that has now passed without action. This latest development follows a similar pattern of non-compliance that has left families in the public demanding answers. High Court Judge Chacha Mwita gave Kanja and Amin a final chance to release the missing men or bring their bodies to court by January 17th or face further consequences.
I'm re-emphasizing the orders I issued earlier. In the alternative, the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Criminal Investigations do present bodies of Justice Mutumwa, Martin Mwau, and Karani Mwema before this court on 17th of January 2025 at 10 a.m.
As the legal saga continues, other individuals missing under suspicious circumstances remain at the center of the investigation. Martin Masharia, EBN TV, Nairobi.
Chief Justice Martha Koome has said that the judiciary will work with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the police to fight brokers who negotiate for bribes on behalf of judges and magistrates, or the judges, magistrates who broker for bribes on their behalf. The Chief Justice was speaking during the swearing-in of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission new Chief Executive Officer Abdi Mohamud at the Supreme Court building. The CEO of the Anti-Corruption Commission has said that he will ensure that all proceeds of crime are recovered from civil servants who are found guilty of corruption offences.
As I assume office today, I am acutely aware of the huge responsibilities and expectations Kenyans bestow upon the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Further, I am cognizant of the adverse effects of corruption to the well-being of our nation. In fact, in many studies, corruption has been identified as one of the key challenges that our country faces. In that regard, I wish to offer my commitment and fidelity to the oath of office that I subscribed to in combating corruption, economic crimes, and unethical conduct in our country. We have identified 3 key strategies that we will use in future to prioritize the fight against corruption. The first strategy that we have identified is the tracing and recovery of corruptly acquired assets, especially the unexplained assets by public officials. The reason for prioritizing this strategy is on realization that people engage in corruption mainly for the gain that accrue from it. We therefore must deny these people from enjoying what they stole.
This position calls for leadership, resilience, and unwavering commitment to the principles of justice, the principles of good governance, and accountability. Therefore, as you assume this role of CEO, you are not taking it up you are not just taking it up as a position of authority, but also you will be embracing the trust and the confidence of Kenyans who will be looking up to you with great hope and expectation.
Aviation studies at Mangu High are expected to be promoted to another level after the national school received a decommissioned Boeing 737-700 aircraft from Kenya Airways. According to representatives of the national carrier, the move is an effort to inspire students to pursue careers in aviation and inspire the next generation of aviation workers. Students at the public learning institution will now perfect their studies to become aviators, engineers, and innovators, as they will now receive hands-on training as part of the aviation education learning. After months of planning, including an advisory to motorists by the Kenya National Highways Authority to be cautious when overtaking the abnormally wide load, the plane was driven on a track to its new home. The plane that set off from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport was donated to Mangu High School as part of celebrations for the Education Center centenary milestone in education and aviation. According to Anthony Maina, the board chair of Mangu High School, students at the institution will now get first-class aviation training, adding that the learners will also get training about the Kenyan and global aviation markets.
This aircraft then forms the basis of our journey towards making Mangu a center of excellence in aviation studies. We're looking forward to utilizing this very great asset in educating our young.
This aircraft is going to spur the teaching of aviation in Mangu High School. So far we are doing well. It has coincided with the time when the school has also performed very well in KCSE examination. So the boys are very excited and we are happy.
This is a great moment for not only Mangu High School but the country and the aviation sector, in that this asset definitely will improve on the quality of what personnel will be channeled out of not only this school but within the industry for the betterment of the country.
So what a coincidence. You guys, you've done very well, and we've decided to give you the gift at this moment in time. So first of all, congratulations for the guys who did very well, and this gift is a strategic tool for you guys to now start learning aviation. It's not just only the aircraft. You guys, you need now to use this tool to see the impossibilities becoming possibilities. You need now to start thinking outside the box, because the future, where you guys, you are going to be now the leaders, the contemporary challenges you are facing now is not what you guys will be facing in the future. So I kindly request you guys, when we have handed over the aircraft fully, even though we faced a lot of challenges, by the way, maybe I could mention a few of the challenges. And actually these challenges we face today, it is a testimony that these things can be surmounted.
President William Ruto officially opened the Lenana School primary tuition block and handed over school uniforms to more than 2,500 learners in Ngado, Dagoretti South. The head of state said the government is building more than 3,500 new classes in Nairobi County to accommodate the increased enrollment of children in schools. The president at the same time said Kenya educates, mentors, and supports children to exploit their talent so that they can productively contribute to the transformation of the country.
Sisi tunataka hawa watoto wetu tuwafundishe vizuri. Nyinyi kama wazazi, tafadhali nawauliza, na nasema hivyo mimi mwenyewe nikiwa mzazi, tuchunge watoto wetu wasiharibiwe na bad character, bad mentorship, watu ambao kuna wengine wanachochea hawa watoto wetu, ati wanachochea hawa watoto ati endesheni matusi. Wewe ni mzazi wa aina gani? Wewe ni kiongozi mwenye akili aina gani? Ati unawachochea watoto wetu waendeshe matusi, waendeshe mambo mabaya, waendeshe tabia mbaya. Mimi nawauliza kama wazazi, let us look after our children. Waswahili wanasema asiyefunzwa na mama yake atakuja kufunzwa na hawa wanasiasa wa tabia mbaya wa kusema watoto wetu watukanane. So mimi nataka niwaambie, let us not go the right direction.
Tunamshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais, maana si ndio rais, si anafanya kazi. Sasa tuache Mheshimiwa Rais akanyage kazi, 2027 wewe utatoa scorecard yako bwana. Na mheshimu Mheshimiwa Rais. Na nilisema jana, sisi tunapenda Kenya. Linda Kenya yako. Sasa naona huko kwa mtandao mnasema alisema tuhame. Wale wanasema hivyo kumbe ndio wanaharibu hii Kenya. Nilisema kama unajua una boma ingine kwingine, kaa hapa, wacha matusi, usitusi president, heshimu Mheshimiwa Rais. Tuko pamoja hapo. Na sisi tunakanyaga baba akienda AUC. Asanteni.
Residents of Cheboror in Keses, Uasin Gishu County have come out strongly to condemn and distance themselves from a group of youths who heckled some leaders during President William Ruto's development tour of the North Rift region. The elders termed the act as unfortunate and uncalled for by leaders who attempted to outshine others in the presence of the president while in his own political backyard. Speaking at Cheboror in Tarakwa, where the president held a rally on Friday last week after launching several projects in the area, the residents led by Stanley Biwot Tololo, Paul Kurgat Tabora and Margaret Kurgat condemned leaders from the region who sponsored the acts of lawlessness and intolerance.
Kuna vijana walipiga mayowe na sisi tukiwa wakaji wa hapa hatukukubali, tulikataa. Hatutaki mambo ya kutungana viongozi. Na sisi vijana wetu wa Cheboror Farm ni vijana ambao wako na nidhamu, ni vijana wangwana, au wengine ambao walikuja ni waliokodiwa, na hiyo tunakataa. Na sisi pia tunasema kwamba viongozi, tunataka viongozi waongee kwa sauti moja na wafanye kazi pamoja na wapendane.
Kuna watu waliaibisha gavana wetu, aliaibisha viongozi wetu, na kukua hii watoto wetu ya Cheboror. Ni kama wageni wametoka mbali, wamekuja na maneno yao mabaya kuharibu area yetu ya Cheboror. Na hiyo tulikataa kama wamama. Hii watoto wetu ni watoto wenye wako na heshima. Vile tunachagua viongozi tunaenda pamoja.
Ofisi tulishangaa kama hii kitu ilikuwa imepangwa, wakuja waharibu mpango ama waharibu hotuba ya governor mbele ya president. Juu kama wangekuwa na kitu ya kuambia, kama wangekuwa hao vijana wetu, wangeambia governor kitu yenye walikuwa wanataka kuambia kwa mkutano ya governor peke yake.
Pesa kama litembea pande huu yote, hiyo pesa imetoka pale. Na wewe Mr. President, chunguza kwa watu yako ya intelligence hapo ndani. Ndio utapata hiyo maneno. Kwa maana sisi hatuna maneno. Si wakaji wa Cheboror walikuwa tumepanga maneno mazuri. Na hataki maneno kabisa.
Calls have been made to families that lost 3 people at an aircraft accident at Kwachocha area near Malindi International Airport in Kilifi County to be compensated. 3 people, including 2 motorcycle riders and a pillion passenger from Ganda Ward, were on their way to Malindi town when the ill-fated Cessna 174 plane crashed on them. 3 occupants of the plane survived with minor injuries. Wanje challenged the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to initiate compensation plans for the families of the deceased.
Tasijui sahi niseme nini, na kama kuna uwezo wa serikali kunisaidia, pengine watoto ni wadogo, na mwingine hata mwaka ujao ni ajoin shule pia, na huyu mwingine pia yuko grade 2 na anafanya vizuri kwa masomo yake. Sielewi, nimechanganyikiwa, na hata watu wakizika hapo wataondoka na nitaachwa peke yangu, sina kazi. Nilikuwa nimemtegemea yeye, ni huu mwaka ndo anifungulie biashara, kwa sababu alisema ndiko wa kitambo naona kazi na sitaki ukajiri sijui wapi. Nataka kufungulia biashara kwa sababu sitaki uwe ile housewife. Kuna leo na kesho unaweza ondoka wakati wote, wewe unajua kutafuta na kujitafutia na kutengeneza watoto wako. Nikasema ni sawa. Kumbe ilikuwa ni kama anaongea tu peke yake.
Yeye aligongwa hapa kwanza. Hii kifuvu hiki kapasuka. Ile damu kaingia ndani. Ndio alipoanguka huko sasa kuondoka tena. Hiyo ndege hivyo ilimgonga kwa bavu. Hii mifupa ya bavu kaingia ndani. Ikadunga moyo na mapafu. Hapo mtu alikuwa hawezi kuishi.
Kwa hivyo wale wenye kuchanga sana kama mnataka kuchanga, tafadhali mje mnione vijana. Kwa sababu mimi nikipata unaweka picha huko, umeweka mziki wako huko stage ya Maembe, nitapigia polisi unaswe, kwa sababu sitaki kuharibiwa sifa.
Ile familia ya marehemu sio Felix peke yake, wote waliohusika katika kile ile ajali, kwa sababu wote ni Waganda. Huyu ni wa hapa Mashamba, yule mwingine Mtakatieni, mwingine ni wa kule Maziwani. Tutahakisha kwamba serikali lazima ilipe fidia kwa hili. Na zile njia nimeshasoma, nimejua. Endapo serikali kama ingekuwa imepanua ule uwanja, ile ndege isingetua katika makazi ya watu, sehemu yenye ambayo kuna watu wengi. Ingekuwa imetua sehemu yenye ambayo labda ni sehemu ya uwanja yenye ambayo imetengwa, kwa sababu uwanja lazima uwe na uwanja mkubwa, uwanja wa ndege. Kwa hivyo ni wito kwa serikali, tunaomba sisi kama wakazi na viongozi wa Malindi, hii accident basi iwe ni ya mwisho, kwa sababu bila hivyo bila kuexpand ule uwanja tunaangalia vitu vingine vikubwa. Leo imekuwa ndege ndogo, kesho hatujui ni nini.
Students from underprivileged families from the slums of Bangladesh are some of the students who performed well in the national KCSE examinations. Member of Parliament for Jomvu constituency, Badi Twalib, has brought together the students from the disadvantaged families to celebrate the excellent results they scored. Speaking to journalists on Monday, the MP has said that he will stand with the students in the process of continuing with their studies in universities. On his part, the County Executive for Education has emphasized that last year's results have shown that public schools in Mombasa County have done well.
Mtoto hufanya vizuri na tumeona katika general public wazazi wakacelebrate matokeo ya hao watoto kwa kufanya vizuri, wakawanunulia mazawadi, wakaweza kuwapeleka mahali kukubwa. Hawa watoto tuliwachukua form 1 wakiwa wengine hawana wazazi, wengine wakiwa hawana uwezo. Leo wameweza kumaliza. Nimesema kama mzazi ambaye niliweza kuwabeba miaka 4, na mimi ni waiti hapa ili tu celebrate na wao wajifeel kama vile watoto wengine ambao wanakuwa celebrated na wazazi wao. Nataka kuchukua nafasi hii kusema kuwa tumeweza kuwasaidia katika chuo kikuu, katika shule ya upili, na hivi sasa wanavyokwenda katika chuo kikuu hatutawaacha mkono. Maadamu bado tuko katika maongozi ya kuweza kuongoza watu wetu, tutasimama na wao ili kuona mpaka ndoto yao imeweza kutimia.
Scholarship ambao kwamba ametoa mheshimiwa, tunaona matunda yake. Wanafunzi ambao kwamba wamepata A's ambazo kwamba hawasomi katika shule za Mombasa, lakini shule zetu zile za primary wanafunzi wanatoka wanaenda kusoma shule zingine. Tunatarajia kwamba one day Mombasa County ikishirikiana na ofisi za MP wetu tutakuwa na standard ya shule zetu. Hao wanafunzi wakipita hawataenda kusoma nje ya Mombasa, watasoma katika shule zetu za Mombasa, na itakuwa Mombasa County pia inaongoza mstari wa mbele.
Nurses in Bungoma County on Monday went on strike over their demands not being implemented and difficult working conditions. Bungoma chairman of the Nurses Union, David Wamalwa, says they will not return to work until their demands, including permanent and pensionable employment, the issue of salary, among others, are dealt with by the county government. In addition, they have asked patients to seek medical services elsewhere due to the strike as they push for the implementation of their demands.
So we want assurance from the county government that for nurses to call off the strike, we want our issues, not an issue, not one of the 10. Our issues be addressed fully. Issue of promotion, redesignation, confirmations, human resource department. We are tired. We want to tell you, develop a framework that after 3 months, we see promotions. Yes. The list of promotions be put on public for the public domain to see, so that when we come here to complain about promotion, you defend yourself, because the public will know that these people are crying, but promotions are there. But for now, as we speak, our nurses who have gone to school, we are recalling them back to practice common nursing, because they are offering specialized services and they are being paid as a common nurse. So let them practice the services, let them be paid for the services they are offering. If you offer anesthesia, can you be remunerated as a nurse anesthetist? Yes. If you offer your services as an ICU nurse, receive your remuneration as an ICU nurse. Yes. We are tired. If other cadres go to school, they are redesignated immediately. What is different for nurses?
I want to urge the people of Bungoma to find services from other facilities, because we as nurses of Bungoma County, we are not going to offer our services until all our demands are met, until all our demands have been, they implement all our 10 issues that we've presented today here. We've been having several meetings with the executive, but there is no time we've had any fruitful or there is no time we've had any fruitful meetings with them. So we are telling them we are ready for dialogue as usual, but until we implement and until all our demands are met, that's when we are going to tell our soldiers to go back to work. Currently, we are on strike. I want to tell everyone that we are on strike and we shall go back to work until
Now, Suda FC, a local football club based in Siaya West Sub-County within Siaya County, now wants the Ministry of Sports to trickle down the support for football clubs to the grassroots level where they say talent resides. According to the club patron Zedekiah Ouma, the grassroots clubs require a lot of support in order to build up the budding talents. Suda FC is one of the clubs within Siaya County that has produced renowned players in the country. Currently, one of their former players, Joseph Onyango, who was scouted by Michael Olunga Football Academy, plays for Harambee Stars under-20 team. Ouma therefore wants the county government of Siaya and the Ministry of Sports to collaborate and ensure that the local team is supported.
Our call is to the state agencies for us to make an impact to the young boys and girls. Such community clubs need to be supported. The support should not just stop at clubs that play the leagues at the county level or regional level or national level. The support must go down to clubs that are really trying to put up things. And the support should not just be in terms of trophy or cash that is given once. The run, including those issues around uniform, the transportation that takes them to those places.
Usidharau nyuma. Me I'm proud hata nikirudi hapa. Nikitrain nao vijana na wape ile motisha waone wenyewe huko juu si vile watu fikiria. Wao pia wanaweza cheza huko. Juu nikicheza nao hapo wanaona wenyewe kama anaweza nichenga, anaweza chenga mtu wako huko. So hiyo motivation anaona wenyewe pia mimi kumbe naweza. Lakini ukimdharau wewe ukirudi mtaa, you don't want to share, utaki kutrain naye, ataona wenyewe ni kama huko juu. Ni kitu kingine special sana. Si special sana. Ni ile tu tukuwe na discipline. Alafu to encourage vijana wetu sana. So teams hapa chini wana lack vitu mob kama boots, balls, jerseys. Hizo zinakuwa noma sana kupata huko.
All right, allow me to call it at night. At that point, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you're up to speed on what is making headlines across the country. Do enjoy the rest of your programming. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, God willing. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. God bless.